Hello everyone and welcome to our first lab together. We're going to do the pipes lab today. But before we get started, we wanted to introduce ourselves because we are the physics teaching team for you here at Holy Innocents. So first, my name is Mr. Boltree, and you can remember it because it's like a bowl and a tree.
I am Mr. Santee. I'm very similar to the famous figure Santa Claus, so that's how you remember mine.
I'm Mr. Taylor. You'll remember that because Taylor is a very common name.
And I am Miss Reese, like the candy, Reese's Pieces.
So without further ado, we're going to get started with our lab. So the purpose of today's lab is I had a water leak in my apartment over the summer. So I was having to do a lot of water repairs. And as I was working with a bunch of different pipes, I started noticing that when you hit them on the end, they make particular sounds. Let me get a little closer to the camera so you can hear just this one in particular. So hopefully you can hear that. If you can't hear the sound at home for whatever reason, we're going to describe the sounds to you. And just for the purposes of this video, we're not going to lie or mislead you. So if we say something is higher or lower, you can believe us. So we wanted to investigate what factors influence the pitch that a pipe makes when you hit it on the end. And just definitions-wise, we're going to define pitch as something that is high-pitched or low-pitched, just how high or low the sound is. So we're not investigating sound quality or loudness, volume, just the pitch, high pitch or low pitch. So I get the pleasure of doing the first of these tests. So what I'm going to do, we're going to use the process of scientific inquiry to try to figure out if I've chosen width, to see if the factor of width influences the pitch that a pipe makes. So I'm just going to choose two pipes. I already have this one, so I'll stick with it. And I'll choose this one. And the reason I choose this one is because I notice that it's a different width. I can actually fit one of the pipes inside the other pipe, so it's clearly a different width. We'll call the gray pipe and the white pipe. So I'm just going to hit both. This one's wider, this one's skinnier. I'm going to hit the wider pipe, we're going to investigate the pitch. Skinnier pipe, investigate the pitch, see if either made a difference. So the wider pipe sounds pretty low to me. The skinny pipe sounds pretty high to me. So based on that, I'd like to make the claim, the conclusion, that the wider a pipe is, the lower the pitch, and conversely, the skinnier the pipe is, the higher the pitch. So that is test number one. And now I'd like to pass it off to Mr. Taylor to do test number two.
So I'm going to investigate length to see if length affects the pitch. So just like Mr. Boltree, I'm just going to grab two pipes at random. So here are two pipes that I hope we can all agree are different lengths. So just like Mr. Boltree, I'm going to hit them to see how the pitch sounds. So here's the first one. Okay. And now here's the long one. So off that, to me, it definitely sounded like my shorter pipe has a much higher pitch than my longer pipe. Now, I would like to turn it over to Mr. Santee.
All right, everyone. So for test number 3, I'm going to be testing the material of the pipe. So I need my 3 pipes so we can look at 3 different materials here. All right, so we're going to have this yellow pipe, which we're going to call the boom pipe. Then we have the white pipe, which is a PVC pipe. And then we have a simple cardboard pipe here. All right, so we're going to start with the cardboard first. That's not staying. There we go. So here's the cardboard. That one was a little hard to hear, but it was, we'll compare it to the other two after we do these. So here is the PVC pipe. Okay, and now finally the boomstick pipe. All right, So, if you could hear, the boomstick pipe sounded like it was the lowest pitch. The PVC sounded sort of in the middle, and then the cardboard sounded like it was the highest pitch. Okay, so I would make the conclusion that different materials that our pipes are made of would then create a different pitch. And finally, last but not least, I will pass it off to Miss Reese's Pieces.
All right. All of those tests sounded like they would be fair, but are they really? It's up to you to decide.